Now, today's question falls to yourself, Spence. What kind of debauchery are you bringing to the table today?
Well, I don't appreciate you calling it debauchery, mate. I'm quite a nice, polite fella. I think I bring some quite sophisticated questions to the table. And I think today is just another example of that. So if you boys will allow me, my question for you, my friends. You are in your local pub, right? End of the night, half hour till it closes. You've had quite a lot of drinks. Your mate asks you a question. Oh, mate, he's bladdered. Oh, mate, how much would I have to pay you to take a bite out the urinal cake? What I want to know is your amount and why. And then I want to try and bring you down. So whoever wants to take it, take it.
Oh, I've never thought about that one. I've never pondered that. I've never been asked this question before, so this will be a first.
I got a couple of questions just to get that kind of out the way, right? What kind of pub are we in? Are these old urinal cakes, or are these? Has it been a busy night? Are they proper soggy with piss, or are they relatively quite new? Because I think even just like a box fresh urinal cake would be savage, but one laden in piss in a grotty pub is even worse.
Right. Well, when this question was posed to me, it was my local pub, and I had a pub in mind. So it's your local pub, and it's just their urinal cakes, depending on what night it is. It's a Friday night tonight. I imagine it's probably quite busy in there. How much would I have to pay you if you to dip down to that local pub right now? I'd take a chomp out that urinal cake. Well, no, let's assume you're already there. You've had a few drinks. And it's just your local pub. There's nothing about. We're all in different pubs, probably. We all have different locals. But it's your local pub. And someone's asked you, mate, I've got some money to spare. Take a bite out that urinal cake. What's the amount?
Can it be a nibble? Or does it have to be like a proper chomp?
I would say it has to be a proper chomp. My mate said he would do like a SpongeBob bite in the Krabby Patty for the first time, little thing like that. But I think it has to be a decent chomp.
Like a mouthful.
Not a mouthful, just a decent bit in your mouth.
I don't know what it's made of. What if I go too low and it's like proper cancerous, whatever it's made of, right? Do I have to swallow? This is important. Do I have to swallow it?
Yeah, you gotta swallow.
Fucking hell. Right,
Oh,
let's say
that
it's not
changes everything, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Let's say it's not going to kill me eating it, that I'm not going to get like liver damage or something like that from eating what is essentially like a toilet block, which, I think are pretty acidic, to be honest. I think actually the packaging around them when you put in like a toilet block specifically says like if you get any of this on your hands, you need to like go to a doctor. Like it's bad for you. Let's say there's none of that.
Keep away from children.
Yeah, definitely.
For this exact reason, they'll
Yeah.
put it in their mouth. It's the same as those little batteries. They have like little warnings on them. They flavor them now. Have you heard that with the little batteries you can have that you put in like alarm clocks and things like that? They actually flavor it so that if a child puts it in his mouth, he'll spit it out because it tastes so disgusting. But I imagine these rim blocks or whatever we're talking about, these cakes that you put in the urinal, they probably already taste disgusting because they're laden with piss. And it's pub piss. And that usually stinks. That's worse. That's like 10 times worse. That's the factor I'm putting on there. 10 times worse.
Exactly. These are all used in your local pub. Let's assume most of that acidity has been washed off of the piss. Mostly, it's just going to taste like piss. Rather than it's going to kill you. What's the amount?
It's a tough one, right? Because in my head I'm thinking, $1,000's quite a bit of money. And if it's just a mouthful or something, it's not that bad. Like, you can just get it done. But then I'm thinking, how bad would it be? Right? Like, if it was eating a shit, like if someone said you got to eat a shit, I think there's no amount of money. Like, I'd just never do it. But something about, I imagine it's quite a crunchy, and then it would like break into little bits in your mouth.
Yeah.
So it'd be over quite quick. Like, you could just get it done. So I'm thinking you just gone. And because of the piss, it's going to flow down, I reckon, quite easy. So I'm going to go quite low on this. I'm going to go £12.50.
What, pounds?
Yeah, 1,250 quid.
£12.50. I was about to take him straight to
No,
the
not £12.50. What, £12.50?
Mate, I'd already got my
asking for it.
PayPal out. £12.50. I'll send you
Yeah.
now.
No. What? I'm just asking for it at that point, but I'm too polite to say, please give me one, right? For £12.50. 1,250 quid. I reckon I'd do it.
Damn. I mean, to be fair, that's only 50 quid more than my mate's answer. He said 1,200. Phil, mate, what's your answer for this?
Well, Spence, I'm glad you asked. Because my local pub is the Jolly Cobbler, right? And that's in Kingswood. So it's a grotty old man pub, right? It's quite a mixed area. We have our rough and we have our smooth in Kingswood, but there's a lot more rough than there is smooth, and the Jolly Cobbler definitely attracts the rough, okay? So it's the type of pub that you imagine when I say it's a grotty, old man, working man's kind of pub. They've got karaoke pretty much every day, actually. There's always a woman in there singing away at the top of her lungs, getting the boys down to sing a bit of Rollin'. I haven't done that just yet, Davey, but next time you're over, we got to take the mic, okay? But, and there is quite a big but with this one, the bathrooms in the Jolly Cobbler have only just been redone, so they are absolutely immaculate. There's not a speck of dirt in these toilets. Now, with the stipulations you've piled up now, Spencer, I'm thinking, actually, the kind of standard of these toilets probably doesn't matter that much, because it's still a urinal block or a urinal cake that's covered in piss. And this piss is coming from the surrounding area of Kingswood. It's not going to be great piss. There's going to be all sorts of funky things within this piss that I probably don't want in my mouth. So I'm actually going to go a lot higher than Davey. I'm going to have to double it for Kingswood. If it was a nicer pub, if it was a little bit more upmarket, I think the price would come down. But this is a rough pub. So the price has doubled for me. I'm going double what Davey said.
2,500.
That's it, 2,500.
Jesus, expensive, boys. Now, my ideology of this, my mindset, was actually very similar to yours, Davey, where it's just get it done. Get it done in maybe like 5 to 10 seconds. And really, how much is 5 to 10 seconds of suffering? You're in a pub. You can go wash that down immediately with a pint. A beautiful San Miguel or Birra Moretti. My mate said 1,200 quid. And I went, really? It's like, yeah, what would you do? £100.
100 quid. 100 quid. Phil,
Christ.
we could just do this next night out, mate. 50 quid each.
You could have a whip round for 100 quid, couldn't you? Go around the pub. Everyone would chip in a
True,
quid.
you really could, actually.
Because then he'd have to do it, wouldn't he? Because everyone in the pub is like baying for his blood after they chip in that single
The
pound.
issue with that is everyone would be like, well, I kind of need a piss, hang on. And then
Yeah,
off
they
they
would.
go and just cover it.
Brilliant. It just gets worse. This sounds amazing.
Mate, we've got this on recorded now. So you can't back out of it and then say, oh no, I meant 500, because we got video evidence now. 100 quid is a bargain. Oh my God. I'm so up for this. This is class.
That's fine. Enough drinks in me, I'll probably do it for 20. But 100 quid's my number. But then we also had other stipulations. So I said, honestly, we had the argument where I said it'd be worse to do a sponge than urinal cake. Sponge doesn't seem as bad, but urinal cake is actually quite hard. A sponge would be hard to get it down you and it absorbs the piss. You'd take that bite and it'd come flooding out. That's bad.
There are different types of urinal cakes, though. There's the big kind of blocky ones, aren't there? Which I'm imagining we're talking about because you want to take a full bite out of them. And then there's the ones you see and they're like little balls. So you could almost swallow those without chewing. So it kind of takes away some of the kind of horribleness of this task you're trying to put us through. But for 100 quid, mate, all day long.
Bargain. But then I also posed another question. I said, I want your price for this as well. Quick though. Brand new urinal cake. Never been pissed on. Your missus pees on it. What's your amount?
It's probably worse, to be honest, because my wife's way more dehydrated because all she drinks is Monster. So it'd probably be worse if it was my wife compared to the local, people that go into my local pub. At least they're drinking alcohol. They're getting some water content, right? The wife is literally just sugar, and that's it. So it's like, when you walk into a bathroom after someone goes to a piss and they're like, fucking hell, like, you need to drink some water. Like, it stinks. It can get like that on just a Monster-only drink diet. And I'm like, here's some fucking water, get this in you. So yeah, if anything, it puts the price up for my wife, 100%. It goes to like $2,500 with that. Yeah, no way.
$2,500. Jesus, Phil, are you the same?
Well, piss is piss, but then my girlfriend is a lot healthier than I assume Lottie's diet is. So I'd actually reduce it slightly because I highballed it for the nut bags that go to the Jolly Cobbler. So I'm going to come down by £500. I'd do it for the grand. Oh, sorry,
£2,000.
do it for the £2,000, actually.
£2,000.
Yeah, let's get the math right.
Wow, I said, bro, I'd pay.
Oh,
I was like, I'd buy
you're
the urinal
fucking
cake.
disgusting, mate.
Ah, Spence, you've just used this question just to highlight something absolutely disgusting that you really want to do.
I don't want it. And I wouldn't actually pay. But I'd do it if the number would, even though 100's low, the number would fly down. If it was just my Mrs. P, I'd be like, well, fine. That's something that's better than minging frickin' Terry over there who drinks 12 pints an hour and he's been here since 10 a.m. Bloody off to the piss every 8 minutes. It's better than him. I'd rather it be my missus. Although she very much, she doesn't drink Monster, but she does not drink water. She tells me she actually doesn't like water. And I'm like, that is ridiculous.
Maybe she's got that shit water. You know, like in Phil's neighborhood, the water's just gash. So you got to use like a Brita.
She lives
that's
up
gonna be
North
lovely water
Wales,
up there,
mate.
innit? It's gonna be lovely water.
Lovely water, mate.
Well,
Yeah, she's
I
just
think
a wrong
this topic, if nothing else, Spence, has just been educational for us. I think, Phil, we've seen another side to Spence that I to be honest, I feel worse now from this topic. I feel like I like him less than I did going into this topic, you know? It's just goddamn disgusting.
I think he just uses this show just to admit things. We've talked about his foot fetish. Now we were talking about him wanting to drink his missus's piss. So I wonder what he's going to come up with in a couple of weeks' time. God help us all. Seriously, God help us.
Live on the show. I'll eat a urinal cake live on the show.
There you go, episode 80 coming up.